Happy Transfer Tuesday from the snowy north. We don't normally get snow here on the coast, but it has been snowing, obviously. It's snowed a few times now, and it's really exciting. It's supposed to rain tomorrow. A lot. And then the next day. So it's not going to last, but for today, we're going to enjoy it. Even though it's cold. It's real cold. I hope you guys have had a lovely week. It's been a pretty lovely but quiet week for me, I guess. In a way, the weather's been kind of lovely, but also kind of crappy. I enjoy it, but it makes me not want to go out and drive in it. So, give and take. So I do have some money moves from the last week I want to share with you guys. So I'll start there, and then I've got updates about the rental property, of course, and gig work and all that. So let's start with the money moves. The first one came from last Tuesday. Robert sent me a super thanks. He sent me $20 and he said, "Hey Rachel, have a wonderful day and keep going. You've totally got this." Thank you, Robert. That is so awesome of you. You're definitely helping boost my YouTube income, which is amazing, and of course a very important component of my side work. So I appreciate you very much, especially the encouragement. And then the next day, I got a super thanks from Carol. She sent me $9.99 and she said, "Have a great week. Have a coffee or tea on me." Thank you, Carol. I certainly did. I appreciate you very, very much. Also, on the 4th, so last Wednesday, I got a PayPal notification that Mark had sent me $13.89. And Mark said, "Hi Rachel, just a little bit to round up your homestead fund." So it was sitting at $1,136.11. So that $13.89 brought it up to $1,150. Thank you so much, Mark, for bringing that up to an even number. You know how I like those even numbers. And then on the 6th, I got another super thanks from Carol. She actually sent me $9.98 altogether. And she said, "Good to see you again." Thank you, Carol. You are so sweet. Carol and Robert, you guys are awesome, helping boost that YouTube income. I appreciate that so much. And Mark, for your contribution to my homestead fund. You guys are so lovely. And then the last money move I had is yesterday. I did my monthly donation for $100 to a very worthy cause. It's not a money move towards savings or debt pay down or anything, but an important one. I think I haven't donated in a few months and I don't love that. So I'm happy to donate when I can and when there's a worthy cause, and this one certainly was. That's all I have for money moves. It has been a financially quiet week because it was not a pay week for me from my W-2 job, and I also have not gone out to do any driving side work or gig work because the weather has been shitty. Also, I've got to be honest, I'm feeling slightly overwhelmed by all of the the rental property crap, I guess, and just dealing with that, and the gas company. They were supposed to be there yesterday. Didn't hear from them, and the property management team had been reaching out to me saying, "Have you heard from them yet?" Because they want to get going on getting the bids together for cleanup so that we can get that process started, but the heat's not on, so it's just been a pain. So they ended up going to the property in the afternoon and found a tag hanging on the door from the gas company. So they had been there, and all it said for information was couldn't access the property. And certainly last week I had called them and let them know where the box was and gave them the code so that they could get in, and the thermostat had been replaced, and it was all ready for the gas company to go turn it on. And of course, that would tell us if the thermostat works or not, and also the status of the furnace, since that is up in the air. But yeah, so I called the gas company and I was like, "Can you offer more information? What do you mean couldn't access the property?" Gave the lockbox location and code, and they were like, "Oh, we don't really know. All the technician said was they couldn't access the property and that they tried to call the number on file." And I was like, "No, they didn't. No phone calls at all. So no, they didn't." So it's just annoying, but it's okay. They are rescheduled to go there tomorrow, and the property management team is going to meet them there so that they can physically help them into the property, because apparently a lockbox isn't good enough. I don't know. But yeah, I've just been feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Not too much, but it's just like, it's just a lot going on between, you know, the rent collection team and like the team that processes the tenant's security deposit, and do I want to give them any money back? How do I want to apply it? Do I want to say that their deposit was going to be charged towards the rent that they didn't pay, or towards other charges? Am I going to be charging them for other things, which obviously I am? I just don't know what those things are yet, because, you know, aside from the cleanup. But the move-out inspection also said a bunch of other things, like the furnace needs to be either repaired / replaced, with no further detail, because, you know, the move-out inspection, it wasn't that person's I guess, duty to try the furnace. Obviously, the gas wasn't even hooked up anyway, so there's no way to know whether or not the tenant actually proactively damaged the furnace, and if that needs to be replaced again, because I just replaced the whole HVAC system last year, or, you know, in 2023, whatever it was. So there's no way in hell that that furnace should not be okay. But since the tenant did purposefully do all of that damage in the last few weeks or whatever, it's hard to tell by photos whether or not the furnace is actually damaged, or is like the cover just pop off the side. I don't know. You know, there's so much unknown and so many things that have to happen in like kind of a sequential order to get a full picture and be able to tell the security deposit team, okay, yeah, we're going to be charging him for this, which obviously leads to the whole like legal situation of filing charges against the tenant for all of the destruction and the unpaid rent and all that, which is going to come, but it has to come down the line. Again, kind of in sequential order. I need to have like an actual physical amount to charge the tenant with, and I won't have that until, number one, until the heat's back on, so we can get people in there to clean it back up and, like, you know, fully assess the damages. And that plays into the insurance as well. I can file insurance claims against the tenant for unpaid rent, as well as like malicious damages, but I also need those bids and like the cleanup and assessment to happen in order to be able to file those claims with the insurance company. So like that's kind of on hold a little bit too, but will be happening. I have a $2,500 deductible, and I assume the damages and cleanup and all that will be more than that. And certainly his unpaid rent is more than that. And, you know, obviously filing claims is going to make the the premium go up. But if I'm planning to sell the house ASAP, I don't really care. So, you know, we'll just have to wait and see on a lot of these things. And then even further, when it comes to suing the tenant for those unpaid rent and damages, I think I had mentioned this before, but if you guys were around when I bought the property and inherited that shitty tenant that did the same thing, they did pursue him for damages and unpaid rent as well. But I was told by the legal team they're going to go for it, but it's not likely that I'm going to see a penny of that money. And so it's not likely that I'll ever hear from them again, from the legal team, because they're only going to reach back out to me if they are able to get anywhere in the court and get anything from the past tenant, which at this point it's been 3 years, so no. I'm assuming that'll happen again, but even though we're going to try to sue them, it's probably not going to go anywhere. So all of this has just kind of been like a lot. It's a lot. And plus, when my life is like not exactly rooted at the moment, it's just I'm someone who gets a bit overwhelmed and disoriented and when things are like that. And so like all this rental property crap on top of it is just not helping the situation. Obviously it's a bit stressful, and my overwhelm reaction is to kind of shut down a bit and internalize, and I'm trying not to do that. And instead I'm just trying to focus on relaxing and enjoying myself and enjoying You know, as much as the winter kind of stinks sometimes to be cold and dealing with shitty driving and whatever, it's still so beautiful and lovely. And so I've been spending time up in New Hampshire, going snowshoeing. Oh my goodness, look at that view. That is like therapy, to be outside in the woods or just doing something active. And so that's how I've been staying sane. It's okay. It's just a temporary moment of stress, and things will get ironed out in due time. It's just a lot in the moment sometimes. And W2 work has been slow. I had one boat trip last Tuesday. Sounds like I have another one in the next couple days, although it's going to be pretty windy, so I don't think I'm going to be going in the next couple days, but we'll see. W2 work has been slow, as I knew it would be. Another thing I wanted to mention with this whole trying to cover my variable expenses with side work or gig work challenge and not focusing on W2 income, I don't mean for that to make it seem like I'm proactively trying to keep my W2 income low. That is definitely not the case. I'm just trying to find other avenues of income during a period of time or a time of the year when my W2 work is slow, and I knew it would be slow. Yeah, work is just slow all around, and that's okay. It's okay. The winter is for hibernating anyways. But I do want to get my butt back out there and delivering some more food and some more groceries, because it does make me feel better when I am making money. Luckily, I'm not someone who needs a lot of money because I proactively live that way. But this economy sucks, and you need more and more just to survive nowadays. So I do want to get back out there. It's just been a very weathery week and a half or so. I think that's all I got for updates. I mean, the rental property is, it's kind of a nightmare, and I appreciate so very much all of you and your kind, encouraging words and suggestions about how to handle the situation or whatnot. And we're getting through it. It's just going to take time and some patience. It's going to be fine. I know I was like, oh man, it cost me like $12,000 to clean up the house from the first shitty tenant. So I'm kind of ballparking that for this time around. I really don't think it will be that much, especially since I'm not focusing on making it livable, since I'm just going to sell it to most likely another investor who's probably going to come in there and maybe redo things, rip everything out and start over. So it doesn't make sense for me to do things like fix the cabinets and whatnot. So when I get the bids, it'll just be, kind of going through them and seeing what makes sense for me to pursue and what makes sense for me to just leave it alone. It hopefully won't be $12,000, although with price inflation in the 3 years since then, maybe it will be. I don't know. I should know pretty soon, though. So as soon as I know, you guys will know. But that's all I know for now. I do truly appreciate you guys. I hope you'll always know that. Please feel free to let me know down in the comments what money moves you guys have made towards your future financial goals this week. And I will see you again very, very soon. Bye.